So I have got the most amazingly inspiring lady with me today, and I just needed her to share her story with you because she has been in our community, our Slimpod community now for 6 months, and in that amount of time she's lost 4 stone. And she's such an inspiration in our group, and I just thought it would be a lovely thing if she came and told her story. So I'm not going to chat anymore, and I'm going to hand you over to Sarah. Hi, Sarah. So you were telling me when we spoke that you had about your relationship with food before you joined. Tell me a bit more about that.
I suppose definitely since the kids, it was a feast or a famine. I'm an all or nothing kind of gal. So what it would be with that, it was, I'm committed, I'm doing this, but it would be to extremes. So I went from, and I was actually looking at memories on Facebook. As much as they can make you upset if it's something sad, but it can also make you realize that, oh my God, there's a yo-yo, there's a calendar to how things go, good and bad for me, as to, oh my God, I'm 18 stone in that picture. Oh my God, that time, the following year, I was 11. Then I was back up to 50, and I can see it. And it's nearly like one of those calendars you get done from Pixie Photo, one of those things that they have, you put in all the different pictures, and you're like, who's that? I don't recognize. Oh God, that's me. But I found that I'd always find the fix, the quick fix, the new thing, right, let's go, I'm going to go meal replacement. This is going to be the best thing ever. I'm going to go keto. So I basically went through a dictionary of different options. Now, they worked, and they made people go, oh God, you're after shifting so much weight. Isn't that brilliant? I bet you feel fabulous. And you're thinking, I can't even carry stuff up the stairs and I need a kip. You're worn out. You're because you were relying on 800 calories or whatever, or else as well. The flip side on that was that because I would know, well, that worked, and I got down to this size or this scale, this weight on the scales, then what would happen would be that I then fall so far off doing what I was following to such extreme that my logic would be, sure, on Monday I'll kick back in, I'll start on the shakes, or I'll start on this, or I'm going to cut out this and cut out that. So there was always a plan. I'm the best planner, but the actual initiation just didn't. Now it would, and it is strange because I can see a pattern in a good year followed by a really bad year, and then I pull it back. So there is, and I think that Slimpod has sort of made me aware of, why am I doing that? Why is it? No, I'm on a mission, and I'm great on a mission. I'm very good at my job, and I'm not showing off by saying that. I'm proud of what I do. I'm good at what I do. But what I found was that wasn't translating to family life or to how I ate or how I looked after myself, because I was always doing great work for other people, but not myself.
Sure.
And that's definitely where eating.
Yeah. So sum up your relationship with food in a nutshell.
Extreme. Either one way or the other. Yeah, it's everything or nothing. And now to be able to be in the middle, to me, is huge. It really is. It's phenomenal for me, because it's actually reassuring that I'm me, as opposed to I'm fat Sarah, I'm skinny, tired Sarah. I'm good Sarah. I'm happy in my skin. I'm happy in my skin, Fantastic. So extreme, I think, will be the word.
Lovely. And when you were doing the whole extreme stuff, what kind of difference did you notice when you were on when you started the Slimpod? You must have actually joined it thinking, right, this isn't extreme, this is a whole different ball game. What was in your head when you were thinking that way?
I thought, well, 10 days, what have I to lose? And at that stage, with the first stage of sort of, definitely the first part of this year was sort of a car crash, let alone COVID and everything else, but it was just extreme pressures on lots of different things hitting. So that meant that I inhaled food. I didn't even enjoy it. I inhaled it. So I thought, I'm going to give this a shot. There was these nurses and they kept popping up in my news feed. And I sort of went, well, if it's nurses, then it's not a fad. And I was great for fads, and I thought, right, look, I've nothing to lose with this. But what I found really interesting was nearly within the second night of it, I went, okay, this feels a bit weird. This feels like this can't be working. I'm only listening to a man when I go to sleep. That way I was like, that can't be. There isn't logic to this now. It can't be. But I found I probably, because I'd be flicking switches on and off with those extremes for so many years, I sort of thought, is it just the right day? 7th of July, let's do this, And I went, I think probably because it's 7th of July, I don't want to continue the way I'm going. I'm going to give this a shot, as opposed to trying to prove it wrong. I think I was kind of in the right mindset to say, I'm going to give this a shot. I've nothing to lose. It's only listening on my phone. I don't have to empty my fridge. I don't have to tell people. I didn't have to do that. I just went, just try it low key, see what happens.
Explain the first little bit of your experiences, because as you said, you were an extreme. It must have been a really difficult one to just, it must have come complete surprise when you found yourself just wanting to eat healthy food.
Yeah, and I think I've been diagnosed as celiac. I had a number of medical conditions. So I have ulcerative colitis, which means that it is a condition that food affects it. Food is it. You know what I mean? It's how you digest. So if you're going to choose bad food, you're really going to, and trust me, if I'm bad, then I'm bad. There's no nice, you can't wing it, and there has been 27 trips to the toilet while I'm in work. And, there has been that side of it. So to me, I thought, I'm going to chance this, what have I to lose, and, but what I found was that, really those first couple of days, I thought, right, I'm going to listen to this pod. I'm going to listen to this 9 minutes. I'm going to go to sleep. But what I found was the first couple of days, I was like, well, first of all, I slept, I didn't get to the end of the 9 minutes, and I went, well, that's good going. Now, there has been days that whether I've been up to giddy with different things that are going on, that I've got a playlist, so I play stuff on a loop. So I may turn in the bed and go, it's only Trevor, and go back to sleep. But what I found was that I was conscious of food, but I wasn't overthinking. I wasn't already planning, or I wasn't calorie counting, or I wasn't going, oh God, I better not have that to have that. Because I was diagnosed as celiac, and I've been trying to find every variation of, I'll still have bread, or else, that had gluten in it, I feel crap, I'll eat more crap. And that was the way it worked. And then it would escalate. Whereas then what I thought was, right, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I've nothing to lose. And the flip side of it is, okay, I am going to do what I've been told to do. Put the two things together and you've got a winning combination. Because I knew, and it wasn't that, I'm on Slimpod, I'm cut out this. It was like, even to my kids, I went, I can't eat that. It makes me sick. I can't eat that. I won't be well. And it wasn't, oh God, God love her. You get the tilty head. Are you on a diet? Oh dear. It wasn't like that. It was, okay, I'm in control of this, and that visualization and just remembering that whole, choose better. Choose better was nearly more important to me than the eat less and move more at the very beginning. Was, okay, you're doing this. What's the point in doing something and listening to it if you're not going to at least try and meet it halfway by actually consciously being aware of the fact that, okay, I can eat that if I want to, but do I really want to? and that was really where I found definitely in the first week. I remember coming into work and I was sort of nearly bewildered with myself, sort of thinking, oh, I haven't brought that, and I'm not jumping into the garage to grab something as well because I'm on the go. And I found that made a huge difference, that I was planning because I was aware that I was going to be working late, but I wasn't then not eating for huge periods of time and then binge eating, trying to catch up because, oh God, I've only had that today, and that's really where I found something clicked at the beginning. And
Right.
you'd see that with the club. Some people would say, I'm not getting this, and the wins for me at the very beginning weren't these marvelous, I can get into this size. It wasn't that. It was, I'm looking for a win today. That was my first win. Whenever I had to pick my 3 wins, my first win was, okay, you're looking for something positive. That's a win. And over time, then my wins were easier to find because it's like a parenting course. It's about not trying to catch your child out being bold, but trying to catch them out being good. And I remember doing that with the course, and I was like, yeah, I should really do that. But I think that if we don't do it for ourselves, then, and what I found was that's something good that happened today. Remember that, as opposed to the 3 other things that may have gone completely arseways, that way in between. So that will be my main thing with it, was the wins and just consciously giving it a shot as opposed to fighting it.
Fantastic. And so you were also automatically changing your decision making.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just, okay, let's do this. It was that proactive piece. Do I really want to go back? And I had seen a number of stone come on from January to the end of June. And it was constant. It's like people go, oh, you don't put on weight overnight. You don't, but it can creep. And those 2 or 3 pounds that if you were weighing in, you could sort of say, it's only 2 pounds I've lost, it's only that. If you were then going to be putting that on every single week, then when you get 6 months into a year, you feel it. You feel it in your clothes. You also feel it in your mood. You feel it in everything. And then it's got to a point that you go, oh, this is going to, I'm already this heavy. I might as well just have X, Y, and Z, And what I did was I made a decision that the X, Y, and Z options in my house were going to be good options. They were going to be healthier options for me. Now, there's still a cupboard full of rubbish for the kids if they want it, but I have no interest in it. And over time, it's even with Christmas and having an early Christmas at the weekend because my children were down, there's still all that stuff there, and I'm immune. I just sort of went, okay, now I'm not saying Slimpod makes you immune, but it makes you aware that if you want something nice, have something nice, but that you don't have to have all of it, and also you don't have to apologize for it either. That's the thing, is that I'm not saying, oh, sorry, I'm going to run further today, so I need to make sure I fuel my body and I eat enough. As opposed to, I might go out tomorrow and I might do this, I might do that. So it's nearly like I'm going to carb load for the world on behalf of everybody, and then go run.
So you started this in June 2020, and we're now in December 2020.
Yeah.
How much fat has left your body in that amount of time?
Well, do you know what? I thought this morning, because I knew I was coming on to you this morning, and I said, I haven't weighed myself. Now I've done the 12 weeks of gold, and then I weighed myself, and I weighed myself 2 weeks after that. And then I've done the 12 weeks now of extra. So sort of, I started the 7th of July. So I'm week 24. Yeah, week 24, week 25. But what I did was, after the last time I weighed, so that was 4 months in. Yeah, so just about 3-4 months in, I was down over 4 stone. Now, but what's interesting is, this morning when I got up and I said, I have to go on to Sandra today, maybe I should weigh myself to say, and Sarah's lost it. But first of all, I couldn't find the weighing scales. Now that is in itself is phenomenal to me, when this would be somebody who would be hopping, going to the loo and hopping back on again, or first thing in the morning. No, better wait first thing in the morning before I drink a pint of water, you know. So that to me was the way. But what I did was I go by the scales. Say I go by the measuring tape. Don't go by the scales. I find that, and particularly maybe because I am much more active now as well, and I'm running an awful lot, I went, do I really want to get disheartened if my muscle and my tone, my inches are huge? Like, I've lost a huge amount of inches. I've lost 24 and a half centimeters off my waist. Now, it didn't work that. I meant to work that into inches but I was busy this morning, so I didn't. But that's kind of, so you are looking, it was 102 and a half centimeters. So like, my logic is, well, my waist was bigger than the meter stick in school. So like, I instantly visualized that. And now it's 79 centimeters. So I think, I don't know, I don't want to jinx myself, but I think that might be a 32 or 33 inch waist. Now that's phenomenal, you know, and that's with being active. That's not with, like, I don't do, and I know some people do follow different programs and intermittent fasting and different things like that. I don't, I eat when I need to eat. You know, I always drink my water and stuff anyway. I've always been very good on that. Even my sister was saying the other day, oh, I wish I was like you for water. Water's always been good, but food it's a fuel. I need it, but I'm not relentlessly focusing on why I need it. Oh, I'd love that because it's lovely. Actually, no, I have to eat today. I need to eat because I've got to do that exam. I need to eat because I'm going out on my run. It's not that Slimpod hasn't taken the joy away. It's made me savor things. I eat slower. Before, I'd inhale. And during the first lockdown, I'll be honest with you, I could have inhaled Pringles while working on an assignment, and I wouldn't even have been able to tell you what flavor they were, because it was just constant. It was the subconscious just paying no attention to it. And my full signal is now here again, whereas it wasn't. And that's what Slimpod gave me back. That's huge to me, because that's what I didn't have. I was like, I could inhale something and then I go, oh, well, I have to make the kids dinner. And then I'd eat that as well. And then I come back and start something else, or else you see, because I was a long distance runner, and am a long distance, I was saying the other, but I'm not a proper runner, but I am a runner. I am a proper runner. But because of that, I was fueling to do long distances, to do marathons. I did a 12-hour event last year. But what I found after that was that my metabolism was even more skewed. So let alone extreme dieting that would have had you on 800 calories. Then I was eating through the night because I was running around mile loops. Then I wasn't sleeping. You know, you put all this stuff together, and like, I'm a metabolism nightmare. But since July, I sleep. Now, there is stressor days, as there is for everybody, but I sleep. I'm looking after myself better, but I'm definitely mentally much, much better, I think, than I've ever been in years. You know, and that to me is the winner. I don't care if I'm a size 10. You know, I remember one of my first wins. I was probably about 4 or 5 weeks into Slimpod. Was I saw a glimpse of a collarbone. You know, I was like, oh my God, I have a collarbone. So that's where it doesn't have to be scales related, or even at one stage, even fitting into the clothes. That wasn't it. It was, okay, I feel better about myself. I'm eating well, I'm looking after myself. And Slimpod works for that, and works with that, with ChillPod, with being able to be stressed and be able to play something that's actually going to just go, just breathe, Sarah, just relax for a minute, you know. And the sugar pod as well. I mean, I know that when I initially with Slimpod, when you'd said about the sugar pod and people reacting to it, I was nearly scared to check it. You know, whereas now one of my daughters today, she handed me a selection box. She was gluten-free, ma'am. And I said, okay. And I said, all right, Grant. And then I looked at the back of one of the labels and I said, for the first thing on it, sugar. She said, can you not eat sugar? And I said, no, I just don't eat sugar. And that was it. But there wasn't, oh no, but try it. She said, well, maybe you might need them if you're on a run. So there was a split that we were able to still, I wasn't saying I don't want that, but I wasn't offending her. But also I was still going, I don't eat sugar, you know, and it being able to say that. And as well, I remember one of your lives was, it wasn't about saying I can't eat sugar, or I can't have that cake. It's I don't. And once you're actually there, then people don't tend to come back with, but sure, go on. Whereas I can't eat that, then they do. But sure, you can't. Sure, it's Christmas. You might as well have them. Whereas the other flip side of it was, no, actually, I don't eat bread. You know, and oh, can you not eat it? Now, part of me doesn't want to go into, well, you see, I have this and that, you know, you don't want to go through the list of what's wrong with you. We'll be there all night. But the other side is that it's given me control on what I eat, but also it's given me control not to feel bad about people offering things. Because before, even in my workload, yeah, okay, I'll do that, even though I knew I was swamped. You know, okay, I'll eat that. Okay, I'll sit down and eat with yous because you want me to eat with yous, but I don't want to eat this. You know, so really, that's where I found a huge shift in the 5 months.
Yeah, I mean, the don't thing is just really, really powerful. It really is, because it's a self-validation. It's actually, you know, you are saying that from your heart. I don't eat this, rather than if you're saying I can't, you feel denied.
Yeah. And also you feel as a timeline, then I can't eat it until the 7th when I fit in this, or on the 6th, I've got a wedding coming up, I can't have that cake. And I was going, I just don't want that. I don't want it. And I'd feel sluggish after it, you know. So there's the other flip side as well, that do I really want it? And I have to really, that whole count to 5 with Trevor, I consciously count to 5 if I decide on something and go, do it. Yeah. Do I need to do that? Now, apart from my fat fingers bit, that bit I still don't get on the video, but on the recording, you know, but on the number 3. But what I find is that that count to 5 gives me the conscious decision to, if you still want it, have it, you know. So I'm not denied anything. I eat very well. You know, I eat very well. I'm nourished. I'm probably, like, I take supplements, but I'm probably the fittest, and I'm probably the fittest. And like I said to you, that with the current climate and sort of restrictions and the work that I do, if I was unfortunate enough to encounter COVID through the work that I do and the families that I work with, I know now that I'm probably at the fittest and looking after myself the best that I've ever done. And I mean, I was 47 last month, you know, so I mean, I'm not exactly a young one, but I'm still convincing myself I am. But that it does make a difference. that if we don't mind ourselves now, we're of no use to anybody else either, you know. And that's really big to me, and having the kids, and, you know, you worry about life in general anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. So a lot of your fellow Slimpodders will be looking at this, and some of them might be thinking, well, I've not done so well, I've not lost 4 stone, whatever. And because, you know, different people have different journeys. We're all individuals, and we've all got our own journey with our relationship with food. And some people have had big emotional journeys getting to this point, and, you know, and emotional eating journeys. But if you were to give kind of one bit of advice or pointer to people who are fellow podders, what would you say? They might even be just starting their journey when they see this. What would you say are maybe 1 or 2 most important things that you've done or experienced in order to have that 4 stone leave your body?
I suppose, first of all, it is to believe that you're worth it. It's like that L'Oreal ad or whatever. But if you don't believe that it's worth doing, then it's not the right time. And that was I think it was the right time for me. I was looking for something and it hit the right time, but it's to believe it. I mean, to me, I will be honest, I was shocked that it did feel like there was a switch that was flipped for me, and that makes it so much easier for me, but not necessarily for a number of people. Like there's no way anybody is there who's just got a little bit of an issue or just a little bit overweight. What tends to happen is it's all or nothing. Well, it's all or nothing with me, but what would tend to happen is this hasn't just happened overnight. So sort of unscrambling it to me has been huge, and it's been a journey in itself with that. So it's to accept that if it isn't a magic switch, like, or a magic wand that you're going to wave, that you may have to put a bit of work in to get results, but that they do come. And what I find now is that I'm saying, well, if you were going to ask me for pointers, and I go, it's become a habit now. It's me. So this is what I do. I listen to my pods every night, even if I'm dragging my feet up to bed, absolutely knackered. I'm going, no, I have to put the phone on charge and I have to put Trevor on. And even if I realistically probably get 2 minutes of it and I'm asleep, but the thing is that you do it, you do the wins. I mean, and they are hard. And I've had some pretty horrific days, even in the couple of months that stuff has gone really badly wrong, or I've been under a lot of pressure. And to struggle for those wins is that still keep looking. And like I said, I'm not sure if it was recorded, but before we were chatting, is that looking for that win is a win. You know, going on to the Slimpod page going, oh God, I can't find anything. Life's crap today. But actually going, no, do you know what? You're here and you're looking for that win. You know, you got up, you've got through today. You've survived every other day that's been bad. You know, so to me, to find those wins and to abandon other people's, like, I think you tend, when you start a new diet or whatever else, that people know about it then. And like, you know, like I kept Slimpod quiet myself, probably for a number of weeks, until I actually thought, this is working, you know, or until somebody passed comment and go, oh, the weight's gone from your face. Have you lost weight? And I go, oh yeah, I'm not sure, but I have. But you know, you weren't going to go then and try and jump on the scales, which is be automatic what I would have done, and say, oh yeah, clothes are a bit looser, and that was it. So it's trying to find a different level of win and a distraction. You need a distraction. That's definitely what I have. My distraction is the move more, get out and walk, get out and run, go and do something. If it is that 7 o'clock in the evening after you've done all your work and done everything, that's when you start picking. That's then the pick turns. So I've already done that. So everything starts escalating. Then take up a habit. One of my friends took up knitting. So, well, I can't eat if I'm holding both, if I'm using both hands at the same time. So people take on different things. To me, being active has definitely made a huge, huge difference. And that whole piece about moving more, but also as well, take it that whatever the scales say, if you're feeling happier in your own skin, it makes it easier to say no to stuff that makes you unhappy in your skin. Like, I've got much stronger in saying, can't do that. Sorry, out of my control, you know, and I'm not overwhelmed with trying to fix everybody all the time. My number one priority at the moment is me, because when I'm good, then everybody else that I'm involved with will be better for that. And that's where, if you're going to do anything with Slimpod, is we need to be that little bit selfish. Because if we don't put ourselves first, then writing those wins and following through is when people say it's not working. And I went, yeah, but what's not working? Maybe it's not Slimpod. Like, COVID has definitely escalated mental health issues in everybody, and there's no way around it. I know mentally at the beginning of this year, it wasn't good. I know that since I'm now mindful and I'm consciously listening to Trevor, or I'm consciously driving in the car, going to a meeting or going to meet with somebody that I'm anxious about, then I play the chill pod. I actually go, okay, just take a few minutes. Whereas before, it wouldn't have been, I'd have had the radio blasting, I'd be already 3 meetings ahead of myself. But Slimpod's made me slow down on that to make the rest of the stuff good.
Yeah, amazing. And just one last thing. you said you were a runner. Were you running with that 4 stone around you?
Oh
Because
yeah, you see, I'm stubborn. Yeah, I'm also a stubborn runner. I'll never be as I start off like Mo Farah and finish like Mo Slater. So it's never too pretty. It's never too pretty. But what would have happened was last year I would have had a very good running year. Like I completed a number of marathons. I did that 12-hour. I pushed myself, and when I got to the end of the year, the wheels fell off. Now, I was still eating, but my eating was gone sketchy again. And when my eating's not right, it's only a matter of time before the colitis and the other conditions kick back in. So it was a matter of running on empty. But what happened was between sort of January and the June, I would have put on the weight that I've now all lost. I would have put back on all of that weight. And I would have been like on the 7th of July, I was 17 stone and a pound. And the last time I weighed in, I was 13 stone even. But the thing as well, though, is that people go, oh, stone. And I go, but we don't walk into a shop and go, can I have a 13 stone jumper? And that's the thing that I really, when I explain anything, why aren't you weighing that? Would you not like to know? And I went, no, because I know that I have a size 14 leather skirt on today, and I was able to zip it up the back. So I don't care whether that means I stood on the scales and it says 13.4, or whether I stood on the scales and it said 12. That doesn't matter to me now, and that to me is huge. It really is. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent, but the running thing comes back to, I was still running. Now it was hard going. But because I was stubborn, it was my mental escape. So I was running, but I was back doing sort of 3 miles every day. That was the plan when I started back. But my 3 miles were probably about 40 minutes, 38 minutes thing. On Sunday, I went, today's Tuesday, now my days are a bit wonky this week. On Sunday, I went up to the running track and said, I'm going to try a fast mile. I'm going to give it a bit of welly and see how we go. Just check the old body. But I managed to get my fastest mile, 8:59. Now, to fast runners, to me, that's 4 minutes faster a mile than I was able to run when I started back at Slimpod. But also as well, I did a fast mile, and then I said, I'll just do another 3 just to recover. But the actual 3 that I did to recover, the fastest mile was in those 3. So it just proves that it's your mindset. You see, I'm like sort of the Duracell bunny. I'll just continue. I'll just keep going and going. So I may never be the fastest, but for me to do that 3 mile on Sunday and under 29 minutes, when at the end of June was 39 minutes. That's the difference of the weight gone. Even my sister had said, you flew by me the other day in the town. I had my headphones on. I was actually listening to Trevor. I was booting it, and I was like, yeah, this is deadly, because I was focused on what I was doing, and I think that once you stay focused with Slimpod, and it's going to work, because it does, you wouldn't exist if it didn't. The NHS wouldn't be involved with you. The thing is that I think the credibility that you bring to it, and the fact that this isn't potions. You're not also going, Slimpod have brought out a range of vitamins and about, this kind of, because that's when I go, oh no, once that range, and even with the extra pods and stuff, and even the Christmas one that you'd sent out, like, that's brilliant. That to me, like, I had Christmas dinner on Saturday. And yesterday I had some salad and some turkey before I did my exam online, and there was no worry about, well, actually there's 6 containers of Rose's Quality Street or whatever else. And I went, no, get this work done, concentrate, and mind yourself, because if we mind ourselves, then we're good.
Fantastic. And my throat didn't work then. So anyway, look, I've kept you long enough. So thank you so much. Honestly, it's been, I've just loved hearing you.
And I was being very good. It was like when I was chatting to my friend who's actually in Slimpod, and it's going to be like, Davina, do not swear. So I go, you are live, do not swear, because I know in my posts every now and again you get the odd feckin in there, and I'm being good.
You do, but seriously, you in the group, everybody loves you, Sarah, and
thank you.
You bring some humour, and it's been much needed.
I think it's been a rough year. People need to laugh.
I just had to get you on camera and talk to you, because I know that everybody will be expecting me to do that.
Lovely. They said, you take care. Lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much.